Additional attributes of Arahants: outward demeanor. In the Dhammacettiya Sutta, King Pasenadi of Kosala told the Buddha the reasons for his faith in the Triple Gem. The Buddha endorsed these principles as Dhammacettiya, monuments in honor of the Dhamma, and said they are fundamental to the holy life. He encouraged the members of the monastic Sangha to remember them. One section of this sutta describes the bhikkhu disciples of the Buddha as follows. Again, Venerable Sir, I have walked and wandered from park to park, and from garden to garden. There I have seen some recluses and Brahmins who are lean, wretched, unsightly, jaundiced, with veins standing out on their limbs, such that people would not want to look at them again. I have thought, surely these venerable ones are leading the holy life in discontent, or they have done some evil deed and are concealing it. But here I see bhikkhus smiling and cheerful, sincerely joyful, plainly delighting, their faculties fresh, living at ease, unruffled, subsiding on what others give, abiding with a mind as a wild deer's. I have thought, surely these venerable ones perceive successive stages of lofty distinction in the Blessed One's dispensation. This too, Venerable Sir, is why I infer, according to Dhamma, about the Blessed One. The Blessed One is fully enlightened. The Dhamma is well proclaimed by the Blessed One. The Sangha of the Blessed One's disciples is practicing the good way. At the break of dawn, those bhikkhus go out from their dwellings, from the forests, the base of trees and hillsides. The way they walk forward, step backward, look around, and bend and extend their arms instills faith. With eyes cast down, they are perfect in demeanor. As long as the monks meet in harmony, redress problems in harmony, and carry on their business in harmony, they may expect to prosper and not decline. Happiness and liberation. The elder bhikkhus dress in the morning and, taking bowl and robe, enter a village or town for alms. There they speak on the Dhamma, and the lay people show their confidence in them. They use their gains without being tied to them, infatuated with them, not blindly absorbed in them, seeing the danger in them and understanding the escape. These gains increase their beauty and strength, and on that account they do not meet death or deadly suffering. A wise one whose heart is undisturbed is free of mental proliferation. He has stopped brooding. Everywhere he sees peace. He does not praise himself among his equals, superiors, or those of lower standing. One who is free of frustration, who has gone beyond becoming or not becoming this or that, is fearless, sorrowless, blissful. Even the devas cannot see into his heart. One who has cut all bonds of attachment, removed worry deep within the heart, the peaceful one sleeps happily, attains to perfect peace of mind. Masters of the heart, rulers of thought. A great man is one of great wisdom. To whatever train of thought he wishes to apply himself, to that train of thought he does apply himself. To whatever train of thought he desires not to apply himself, to that train of thought he does not apply himself. Whatever intention he wishes to intend, he does so or not if he so wishes. Thus is the master of the mind in the ways of thought. Loving all creatures, intimate with death and separation. In life one is unafflicted, at death one grieves not. If he is a sage, a seer of the path, surrounded by grief, he grieves not. I do not rejoice in death, I am not attached to life. I will discard this body with established mindfulness and clear comprehension. I do not rejoice in death, I am not attached to life. I wait for my time, as a servant who has finished work waits for his wages. At one time, Venerable Upasena Dera was sitting in a cave in the Sitawana forest. Two venomous snakes were chasing each other when one of them fell on Upasena and bit him. The poison spread quickly. He knew that he was about to die, but his behavior did not change. He asked his fellow monks to place him on a bed and carry him, so that he could enter Parinibbana outside. On another occasion, Venerable Ananda asked Venerable Sariputta if he would grieve if the Buddha were to pass away. Sariputta replied, "Even if the teacher himself were to die, still sorrow, lamentation, pain, displeasure, and despair would not arise in me. However, it would occur to me, the teacher so influential, so powerful and mighty, has passed away. If the Blessed One had lived for a long time, that would have been for the welfare and happiness of the multitude, for the compassionate assistance to the world." The elder Venerable Adimutta was captured by bandits, but experienced no fear. The bandit leader was perplexed. Those people in the past who we have killed for a sacrifice or to obtain their money were always afraid. They trembled and wailed, but you experienced no fear, and your complexion is bright. How is it that you don't cry out at a time of such grave danger? One who is not attached to life experiences no mental suffering, chieftain. One who has destroyed the fetters has passed beyond all fear of pain. I do not fear death, just like someone would not fear laying down a burden. One who has reached the ultimate needs nothing in the world. He is not aggrieved by death. He is like one who has escaped a burning house. The Lord Buddha has said that all things in this world and all realms attainable by beings are dependent. I have no thought of I have been, I will be, or I will not be, or the thought my formations will vanish. Why should I cry out over these formations, chieftain? One who sees according to truth that there is only the arising of phenomena, only the succession of formations, experiences no fear. When a person sees the world with wisdom as similar to wood and grass, then he will have no need to seize anything as mine. He does not grieve, mine is lost. I have no more requirement for this body. I wish for no realm of existence. This body will disintegrate, and there will not be another. Whatever you must do with my body, do as you wish. I will experience no anger or delight as a consequence of your actions. Listening to the elder's words, the bandits' hair stood on end, and they dropped their weapons. After further questioning, they asked to become disciples. Some of them even requested ordination as bhikkhu Buddhist monks. Bhikkhus, even if bandits were to sever you savagely limb by limb with a two-handled saw, he who gave rise to a mind of hate towards them would not be carrying out my teaching. As long as they live, the Arahants have abandoned the slaying of creatures. They abide friendly and compassionate to all creatures, to all beings, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. Even those with an arrow stuck in the breast, even these here stricken get to sleep. So why should I not get to sleep when my arrow has been drawn out? Going to wild places I dread not, nor am I afraid to sleep. During the nights and days nothing afflicts me. I see for myself no loss in the world. Therefore I can sleep in peace, full of compassion for all beings. The first attribute of a great man with great wisdom is he is dedicated to the welfare of many people, to the happiness of many people. He has established many people in the way of the noble ones, that is, in possessing beautiful qualities, in possessing wholesome qualities. When encountering these canonical records of the inner life of Arahants, ordinary people may brand Arahants as eccentric, wrongly imagining that they have no concern for others and heartlessly let things take their own course. Therefore, it is important to remind people of Arahants' outward behaviour, that they conduct their life responsibly and justly. What is the nature of a person's life when there are no unresolved experiences congesting the mind or defilements ruling the heart? Eccentric or strange behaviour can be found in some persons who have attained certain levels of concentrative release, Ceto Vimutti. Arahants, however, have attained release through wisdom, Panya Vimutti. They do not hold even to the thought, I am one who is free from grasping. No impurities are there to form an identity as someone who is unattached. No new attachments are made, example to spiritual attainments, which could bring about a dismissive attitude towards the thing they left behind. Nor are there any defilements that cause disgust or disinterest. Arahants thus act responsibly. Arahants thus act reasonably, appropriately and wise out of wholesome service to the world. An absence of fear, even of being startled, is a key mental attribute of an Arahant. As mentioned earlier in the section on the qualities of the heart, Citta, Arahants are free of any greed, hatred or delusion, which are the causes for fear and anxiety. Fear stems from defilements buried deeply in the subconscious. It is an immediate reaction when confronted by frightening objects, a process that happens so quickly a person is not fully aware of it. Because the reaction occurs before mindfulness is established, fear is very difficult to conceal. It is thus a good indication that subtle mental impurities still lie dormant. When fear is present, it is not easy to deceive others or to delude one's self. In special circumstances, when outward behaviour suggests the realization of arahantship, or someone mistakenly believes to have reached such realization, Dhamma practitioners have used fear as a test. An example from the scriptures is the story of an elder monk proficient at the 8 attainments, Samapatti. As the mental defilements were suppressed by the power of these attainments, for 60 years he believed himself to be an Arahant. One day he saw a trumpeting, ferocious elephant. He was startled, and thus knew that he was still unawakened. 7 noble beings. This division of noble beings focuses on the spiritual faculties, Indriya, and is also connected to the 8 liberations, Vimoksha. The Indriya, literally ruling principles, act as sources of empowerment in spiritual practice. They control or combat unfavorable mental qualities like lack of confidence, laziness, negligence, distraction, and ignorance. There are 5 such faculties: faith, saddha, energy, virya, mindfulness, sati, concentration, samadhi, and wisdom, panya. Dhamma practitioners possess varying degrees of these faculties. 3 of these faculties have an effect on the kind of realization of noble beings, Ariya Pugala. Faith, Satindriya, concentration, Samadindriya, and wisdom, Panindriya. Vimoksha is the liberation from unfavorable mental qualities resulting from the delight of being absorbed in an object of attention. This liberation, however, is dependent on the power of concentration in the state of jhana, and exists only as long as one abides in jhana. It is not the complete liberation from defilements and suffering which is synonymous with nibbana. There are 8 kinds of vimoksha. 1. Dwelling in form, one perceives form. This refers to the 4 fine material jhanas of someone who practices kasina meditation and uses an attribute of the body, example, the color of hair, as the meditation. 2. Not perceiving internal form, one perceives external form. This refers to the 4 fine material jhanas of someone who uses an external object for kasina meditation. 3. Absorbed in beauty. This refers to the jhana of someone practicing color kasina meditation. In the Patisambhida Magga also includes the jhana of a person cultivating the 4 divine abidings, Brahma Vihara or Appamana, loving kindness, metta, compassion, karuna, appreciative joy, mudita, and equanimity, upekkha. Meditation on the 4 divine abidings leads a person to see all beings as beautiful, with no feelings of disgust. 4. Abiding in the sphere of unbounded space, akasananchayatana, with the end of perception of repulsion, patiga sanya, and perception of diversity, yanata sanya. One transcends the perception of form, rupa sanya. One meditates on the boundlessness of space. 5. Transcending the sphere of unbounded space, one attains the sphere of unbounded consciousness, Vijnana Chayatana. One meditates on the boundlessness of consciousness. 6. Transcending the sphere of unbounded consciousness, one attains the sphere of nothingness, Kinchana Yatana. 7. Transcending the sphere of nothingness, one attains the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception, Deva Sanya Na Sanya Yatana. 8. Transcending the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception, one attains the cessation of perception and feeling, Sanya Veda Yita Nirodha, also known as the attainment of cessation, Nirodha Samapatti. These 8 liberations comprise all 9 gradual stages of meditative attainment, Anupavihara Samapatti, as illustrated thus. Vimokkha 1, 2, and 3 to Rupajana to Samapatti and to Anupavihara Samapatti. Vimokkha 4 to 7 to Arupajana to Samapatti to Anupavihara Samapatti. Vimokkha 8 equals Nirodha Samapatti. Attainment of cessation. The spiritual faculties Indriya are linked to the liberations in the following way. When a person begins spiritual practice, he or she will possess a dominant faculty of either faith or wisdom. If that person develops concentration to a level higher than the third liberation, i.e. attains formless jhana, the faculty of concentration, samindriya, will become the dominant faculty. Those practitioners whose dominant faculty remains faith or wisdom may attain the 4 fine material jhanas, but they will not attain the formless jhanas. Conventionally speaking, they do not attain vimokkha. Concentration as a dominant faculty, however, in the end must give way to and act as a basis for wisdom. Up to that point, concentration will facilitate the attainment of the higher liberations, vimokkha. At this point, we can examine how the 7 noble beings, Dakinaya Pugada, are connected to the faculties and liberations. Ordinarily, the 7 noble beings are presented from the highest to the lowest, but to conform with the presentation of the 8 noble beings presented earlier, they are listed here from the lowest to the highest. A learner's Seka Saupadisesa Pugala. 1. Sadhanusari, faith devotee, a person striving for stream entry and cultivating the noble path with faith as dominant faculty. If this person attains stream entry, he becomes one liberated by faith, Sada Vimutta. 2. Dhammanusari, truth devotee, a person striving for stream entry and cultivating the noble path with wisdom as dominant faculty. If this person attains stream entry, he becomes one attained to right view, Diti Pata. 3. Sada Vimutta, one liberated by faith, a person who truly understands the noble truth, has righteous conduct, and has destroyed some of the taints, asava, through wisdom, and has faith as the dominant faculty. This refers to all those who have attained stream entry, up to those who strive for arahantship with faith as dominant faculty. If they attain arahantship, they become one liberated by wisdom, panya vimutta. 4. Diti Pata, one attained to right view, a person who truly understands the noble truth, has righteous conduct, and has destroyed some of the taints, asava, through wisdom. This refers to all those who have attained stream entry, up to those who strive for arahantship with wisdom as dominant faculty. If they attain arahantship, they become panya vimutta. 5. Kaya Saki, body witness, a person who abides in or has contacted with the body, the 8 liberations, and has destroyed some of the taints, asava, through wisdom. This refers to all those who have attained stream entry, up to those who strive for arahantship with concentration as dominant faculty. If they attain arahantship, they become one liberated in both ways. Uba to baga vimuta. B. Adepts Aseka Anupadisesa Pugala 6. Panya Vimuta. One liberated by wisdom. A person who does not abide in and contact with the body, the 8 liberations Vimoka, but those taints have all been destroyed by understanding the noble truths with wisdom. This refers to the Arahants who have practiced insight vipassana as the principal meditation up to the moment of full awakening. 7. Ubato Bhaga Vimuta, one liberated in both ways, one who contacts with the body and abides in the 8 liberations Vimoka, and destroys all of the taints by understanding the noble truths with wisdom. This refers to the Arahants who have developed a high degree of samatha, tranquility, meditation, concentration, and used this tranquility as a foundation for practicing insight to reach full awakening. The following diagram shows the connection between the 8 Dakinaya Pugala and the 7 Dakinaya Pugala, the 5 spiritual faculties, and the 8 liberations. Sada Nusari to faith, to one practicing for stream entry. Also Dhamma Nusari would be wisdom for one practicing for stream entry. Sada Vimuta, faith, stream entry up to one practicing for arahantship. Titi Pata, wisdom from stream entry to one practicing for arahantship. Kaya Saki, concentration, has the liberations from stream entry to one practicing for arahantship. Panya Vimuta, wisdom to arahant. 7. Ubato Bhaga Vimuta, concentration, has the liberations to arahant. There are some noteworthy points here in relation to Dakinaya Pugala and Arya Pugala as outlined in the 2 diagrams above. Note that despite the strength of any other faculties within a person, at the moment of full awakening, wisdom predominates. A simple definition for Kaya Saki is one who first attains jhana and later attains nibbana. Note also that only a body witness who is a non-returner is able to attain the 8th liberation Vimoka. The commentaries and sub-commentaries state that Ubato Bhaga Vimuta are liberated in 2 ways. Liberated from the corporeal body Rupakaya by the formless attainments, and from the mind-body Namakaya by the noble path. They are liberated on 2 occasions, when suppressing Vikambana, the defilements, by the power of concentration and jhana, and when completely uprooting Samucheda, the defilements. If Ubato Bhaga Vimuta attain the threefold knowledge, Vijja, they are called Te Vijja. If they attain the 6 Abhinya, supreme knowledge, they are called Chara Abhinya. If they attain the 4 penetrating insights, Patisambhida, They are called Patisambhidapata. Panya Vimutta, practice primarily Vipassana meditation. They practice Samatha meditation only to have an adequate foundation for insight. They therefore do not experience the exceptional fruits of Samatha beyond the first 4 jhanas. They do not attain the formless jhanas, the attainment of cessation, Nirodha Samapatti, the 2 Lokiya Vidya, mundane knowledge, recollection of past lives, and knowledge of the rebirth of beings. Nor do they attain the 5 mundane abhinya, supreme knowledge, psychic powers, the divine ear, telepathy, recollection of past lives, and the divine eye. In principle, however, they can be Patisambhidapata, those who achieve the 4 penetrating insights. To avoid confusion, it is important here to distinguish between 2 ways of teaching. A. Explaining indirectly or limiting one's examination to particular aspects, pariyaya, and B. Explaining directly, absolutely and comprehensively, pariyaya. Of particular relevance is the discussion on the 2 types of Arahants, Panya Vimutta and Ubato Bhaga Vimutta. Ubato Bhaga Vimutta are liberated in both ways. They have attained Arahantship and have also attained the formless jhanas. Panya Vimutti have attained Arahantship, but if they attain jhana, it is not higher than the 4th jhana. Although there are only these 2 types of Arahants, people may get confused when encountering, for example, the description of an Arahant as one liberated in mind, Ceto Vimutta. For clarification, Ceto Vimutta is another name for Ubato Bhaga Vimutta. The term Ceto Vimutta simply emphasizes the preferred mode of practice, in the case Samatha, before reaching Arahantship. It does not imply that liberation was attained solely by concentration. In some places, Arahants who have practiced Samatha and Vipassana in tandem are rather randomly assigned the names Ceto Vimutta or Panya Vimutta, depending on which faculty was stronger. For example, the commentaries call Venerable Sariputta a Panya Vimutta and Venerable Mahamoggallana a Ceto Vimutta. On some occasions, these 2 terms are used together to describe a single Arahant who has achieved both of these ways to liberation. Another example of how terms are used in different ways to describe Arahants is in the Patisambhidamagga, which uses the fixed terms Sada Vimutta, Ditthipata, and Kayasaki for practitioners all the way till the moment of full awakening. Failing to understand this indirect way of explaining can lead to confusion. All of a sudden, there are multiple types of Arahants. A similar confusion can arise when explaining other terms related to Buddha Dhamma. An example is the definition of right mindfulness, samasati, as equivalent to the 4 foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana. The 4 foundations of mindfulness are generally considered a comprehensive method of practice, comprising all spiritual qualities, including effort, atapa, and clear comprehension, sampajana. A doubt then arises as to how the satipatthana can be confined to merely right mindfulness. In this case, samasati is the mindfulness suitable to or applied in the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Another example is the development of concentration. of which there are 4 kinds. The description of the 4th kind includes, when developed and expanded, this meditation leads to the destruction of the tents. One may wonder how concentration, samadhi, which is equivalent to tranquility, samatha, can lead to the destruction of the tents without insight, vipassana. Here, concentration must be understood as the core of a person's meditation practice, like a field where various spiritual qualities gather to battle the defilements. The development of concentration in this context is not isolated. It is used in conjunction with and as a support for other meditation techniques.